we are in touch. Yeah, that's what we do. All right.
Glad to see that, son.
History!
What's up?
Everything, sir, everything.
What are they
So you see all these go on here now, you have to talk to them and stuff.
Jamaica. It's been a difficult day. Yesterday was extremely difficult for a lot of people. I know that a lot of families are worried because they've not been able to get in contact with their families. We are doing all that we can to get the information to you so that you know what is happening across Jamaica. This is going to be a short brief. We need to get out there. We're in the middle of our recovery activities. We're in the middle of doing assessments. And so we have to really, really quickly. And so as we start this morning, we do want to say that it looks really, really difficult in many parts of Jamaica, and it is very difficult. And the images we're getting are really devastating. But as always, I've always said it, we are a strong people, we are a resilient people, and we will get through this together. The first order of the day today really is to have an assessment of what has happened, and that is being done. This morning, right before this press briefing, there was a cabinet meeting that was really about how we get these assessments done well, how we get resources to those that need it the most. And so all of our ministers will be working really hard with their teams to get the support to those who need it the most. We also want to thank the international community for all the offers of assistance. We are so grateful to you to be so supportive to us in this very difficult time. We'll be working through your foreign affairs and trade to court of those offers of assistance that we've got from around the world. So given that this is a short briefing, we do want to talk about where we are with the weather, because we still out there, and so we want to know the latest situation in terms of the weather. And so I bring Evan Thompson up to give us an update.
Thank you very much, Minister, and good morning to everyone. The sun has come out, and we're happy to see that things are starting to look a lot brighter, and we of course expect that as we go through today, we'll continue to make things even better for ourselves as we do all the cleanup activities and arrange ourselves for the future. Let me give you an idea of what has happened across the island. Let me show you this image that I'm going to show. First of all, is showing the actual path of the hurricane that moved across Hurricane Melissa, Category 5 Hurricane Melissa. The first that this has happened to Jamaica, experiencing a hurricane at this magnitude, and we have been through it. We are now about to recover from it. And here we see where the system made its entry in the extreme eastern part of Westmoreland, moving across eastern Westmoreland and over southern St. James before going across the northwestern part of Trelawney. We see where it exited east of Falmouth, and this was just about 5 in the afternoon yesterday. This continued. The system has been continuing toward the northeast. So the swath of that we see of all the hatched lines that you see on your chart show much of the extent of the core of this system and where most of the activity took place as it moved across Jamaica. Of course, the entire island was engulfed by the clouds, the showers, the thunderstorms, and of course the very strong winds associated with at least tropical storm. The tropical storm force winds, but over closer to the center of the system would have experienced hurricane force winds. Let me go back just to show you what the image looks like in terms of where the satellite image shows us where the showers and thunderstorms are now located. The system is now centered over the eastern part of Cuba. That's where you see the red blotch over the southeastern part of Cuba. And so it has started to move away. Last night at about 11 o'clock, we downgraded the hurricane and instead replaced it with a tropical storm warning that continued through the night as tropical storm conditions continued to be experienced across the country. And as we moved to this morning at 8 o'clock, we discontinued that tropical storm warning because we are no longer within the scope of tropical storm force winds that are associated with this system. So as it continues to move away from Jamaica, of course, we expect conditions to be. However, I want to point out that that area of showers that extends from the general mass clouds over parts of Hispaniola, over Haiti, and all the way to the south of Jamaica. That's the spiral band that is supplying the system with a lot of moisture and energy. And so we see that we could experience some of that activity as the system moves northward. So we are still in a situation. We will likely experience more shower activity over sections of the country. We could also experience some strong gusty winds from time to time across the island. But generally, we're seeing that conditions are still very unstable. Anywhere across the island could experience some rainfall, but let me show you where the likelihood of most of the rainfall is expected to take place. Because on this picture, we see that the deeper greens over northern parts of the island, north central, northeast, 4 inches of rainfall, 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall expectation of the island, and that's where we expect that to occur. Over the southern and western parts of the island, we do expect that we will still experience some amount of rainfall as well. Periods of rainfall, outbreaks of rainfall may not be heavy, but we do expect maybe 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. That's 25 to 50 millimeters of rainfall. So that was issued at 8 o'clock today. Further information on this system will be communicated, however, by the Meteorological Service through regular news releases, also informing you of the latest position of the hurricane, even though it's no longer a threat to us here in Jamaica. And we'll also be communicating that there is a flash flood watch that's in effect at this time, just in case that we do have those heavy rainfalls occurring over sections of the country. Flash flooding is still a possibility, and so we have a flash flood watch that will be in effect for sections of the country, primarily in the north, where the greater likelihood of heavy rainfall exists at this time. So the system is continuing to move toward the northeast. It's now over eastern Cuba, as I mentioned, expected to move over the southeastern part of the Bahamas and then out into the Atlantic, heading close towards Bermuda, and that should occur by Friday of this week. So we're moving now to the recovery phase of this. The Met Service will, of course, be conducting our own assessment of what has taken place. We will provide a formal report to our minister, of course, that would be shared, and that is going to indicate what amounts of rainfall were actually experienced across the island, also where we had the strongest winds. We thank all those who have supported us over the past few days, particularly the National Hurricane Center in the United States in Miami, Florida. They have been constant support to us, and generally the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration of the U.S. has really been providing us with information and ensuring that if we needed anything, they would make sure that it was made available to us. We also want to thank the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology in the Caribbean that has been supporting as well with modeling products that come out of their area. They ensure that they monitor what kind of storm surge, what kind of rainfall, how the winds will be moving across the island, and we want to thank them very, very generously at this time. There are so many others who have supported us and have also expressed their gratitude for what we've been doing as a meteorological service, and we do want to wish Jamaica all the very best as we move forward from now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Evan. I think we're going to miss hearing your report, but a part of us will also be happy not to have more. Are a bit far-reaching, and I know many people are asking questions, and so I'll try to answer what we've been seeing being asked. One of the things we have to start with, we just issued a release that notes that the government of Jamaica has issued an all clear following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. So we've issued an all clear. That comes after That comes after guns from the Met you heard. They're no longer going to be doing any updates, and also in consultation with ODPEM. As a matter, what that means is when we give an all clear, it means that our utility company should now commence restoration and recovery operations across the island. So crews from the JPS, NWC, NWA, Works Agents or Water Commission, and also our telecommunications critical will be to restore electricity, water, and communication networks. We're also asking and encouraging entities like our supermarkets, or wholesales, or gas stations, and pharmacies, particularly in those areas that have been less affected. We are asking you to open and allow communities to have access to these services, and always we continue to, especially where there are downed power lines, debris, or flooding. And so please still be careful, even though we've given the all clear. The all clear is for our utility providers and other entities. In terms of 77% of the country is without electricity. There is work that's going to be done to bring that up as quickly as we can, but that is a large number. The least affected areas of Jamaica have been St. Thomas, St. Catherine, and sections of Kingston and St. Andrew. The most affected have been on the western side of the island. In number of systems down last night, a little bit over 70, but we have over some of them may have lost power. So we do expect that number to go up, but for the most part, our water systems held up quite well. Turbidity is a concern, and that may also affect water. So telecoms providers are getting from Starlink technology to assist many of our individuals and our companies to get back online. I know so many people have said they cannot reach their families in Western Jamaica. That's because of damage to the telecoms infrastructure. As you would imagine, Category 5 hurricane, it has struck, and so we'll have left count damage, and so that's why we're not getting communication. I finally got some communication just now from some individuals in Montego Bay. So slowly we're getting some of our systems back up, and you should be able to reach your families, we're hoping, very soon. A question we asked about the airports. We are working to have Norman Manley up by tomorrow to facilitate relief flights. That's dependent on the assessment that's done today. As we speak, Minister Vaz, or Minister of Energy, Telecoms and Transportation, he is in one of the choppers assessing that at that airport. He's also looking at the Ian Fleming Airport to see if that is an alternative. We will need to give information on Sangsters International Airport in Montego Bay at this time. When we have that information, I will provide to you. In terms of our roads, the National Works Agency has been given theirs as best as possible. Obviously, in Western Jamaica, it may take more. We also know that out there and doing and clearing the roads as quickly as they can. In terms of overall damage assessments, I think that I want to know what's the damage. It is really too early for us to say definitively what's the damage. We know it is Western Jamaica that had the brunt of the impact. We will have to give you that in coming days. But right now, today, the Prime Minister that will be surveying the country. He will be going to St. Elizabeth, I think flying to St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Westmoreland, and also St. James as conditions allow. As I said before, Mr. Vaz is with JPS and is looking at the electricity network and also at the airport. A defense force or military is also out doing wellness, is also going out via helicopter to look at the damage to the hospital, because that's also a key. As soon as they have come back, you'll be able to give you information get to the damage. In terms of schools, we've asked that quite a bit, those as soon as we can. Individuals are also asking about the catastrophe bond that Jamaica has. We expect it to be triggered. I can tell you that has been triggered. We expect it to be, because of the level of rainfall and also the wind speed and the barometric pressure of that hurricane when it hit Jamaica. So taken, our goal is to have our ministries open to be able to essential services as quickly as possible, especially in Kingston. I've had many that so insane. And so the permanent secretaries for that, opening up our ministries for the essential services. Not everyone, and we haven't given an all clear for all ministers. People are very essential, and there are some operations that are central to the country getting back up on its feet. Our goal is to bring up Kingston as 1 million citizens. And so it is important that we get Kingston back up. It was not badly damaged, and we are grateful to God for that. And where there has not been damage, we those areas, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, will start to see electricity being restored more quickly, and then they will move damaged areas. Those are the key updates I have for just noting that on Mr. Thompson's on the Hurricane Melissa. Yes, it has moved past Jamaica, but is going to affect some devastated.
About water tomorrow. But we are in touch. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Water. All right.
We got this in that, son.
History.
To certain people, we bring company. My respect.
What's up?
Everything, sir. Everything.
Yes, I want to. What time are they coming?
So you see all these little ones, you know, you have to talk to them.
Don't try to play.
90% out. That will be your estimate.
Yeah.
About 90% out. After today's assessment.
Yeah, we are walking through the shortcut.
This is New York. New York. Yeah, these are brand new. These are put up in Berry. After Berry.
The poles are up.
Yeah. They come in the pool, they does a bunch of poles. Richie. Yeah, the bushmark. Yeah, the bushmark. Before you reach the program. Yeah. Oh, you look back. Jump up. See the big
Maternity.
I don't know if you want to.
So we walk around.
Yeah, walk around instead of through the wall.
Yeah, man. And that.
Looking at all, nothing to us in Kingston.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it. That's all right.
But I'm past. Minister Compton is.
I see that. I want to thank all of you for your service. I know Must have been a harrowing experience.
Very, very. The most terrifying experience in all my life, and I would not want to see it again.
But you don't report any loss of life.
Thank God. God has been good to us.
Not because of the storm. But obviously, the care that you have taken in protecting the patients would have been. I don't know if you had an opportunity to see the rest of the song, but certainly you would have heard.
Many of us don't know what is happening to our children, our parents, because we are here. We are here.
We just can't hear anything from them.
Exactly. I don't think none of us are competent enough to describe what happened. It is beyond imagining. We can't really imagine. At one point you would think that you have some missiles just letting go in the glass. You just see things just going here, there, glass, boom. And in spite of everything, patients are there to take care of. Even after the storm, we have emergencies, using lanterns and flashlights. But God has been good to us.
So what we're doing now is the initial assessment of the damage. We have with us the acting Chief of Defense Staff and Brigadier Williams as well. And they are doing their assessment that will feed into ADPEM. Hopefully by tomorrow we will have cleared the routes in to Black River because they're all blocked now. There's no traffic that can come in vehicular from outside. As I'm seeing, some of your transmission towers are down, so telecommunications will be affected. Of course, almost all of your electrical grid is down. No, that's what we're trying to do now. We're doing an assessment to see where we need to put what equipment to move. I know it's rough. I know it's rough for me, but you have to hold it out now. All right? You have to just hold it out. By tomorrow, however, roads will be open. That's what we're working on. That is something that we put.
Yeah, I can talk to the road bus service once you can get in people definitely.
Yeah. So you're not from here. Where are you from? Oh, yeah, no, but definitely within the parish, yes, we can provide transportation. All right. Yes, within the parish we can do it. All right.
Can run some routes. Can't remember the buses one day.
So